They have been the most consistent team the last 5-6 years. Actually, since Mahomes became
making
the
7
championship.
straight AFC championship games, you can't ride the refs completely to that, right? It's a dynasty. We can all say it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's impressive.
That's a good point. Dynasties, because Damian Woody, who was a part of the Patriots dynasty, was talking about, well, what happens if the Chiefs were to win this game? And let's hear Damian's comments on this, and then we'll continue this conversation, Kev, on the other side.
Part of a dynasty, even I said in the meeting, they go out here and finish the deal, they're the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL. Yeah. I mean, if they go out here and win a Super Bowl, they've done something even the Patriots dynasty has never done. Win 3 straight Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. Think about that. In professional football, with all of these great quarterbacks, all these great teams, for a team to go out there and possibly to win 3 straight Super Bowls, it's ridiculous. It's unheard of. It's unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, it's never been done. It's never been done. And what we're seeing is, look, especially with all the moving parts in today's game, right? The salary cap and all that, it's impossible to do what they're doing, and yet they're doing it.
Everything we say about Bill Belichick, we have to say about Andy Reid. It is as well prepared, as well coached, and as well executing in situational football as a team that we've ever seen.
So that was the whole Get Up crew there talking about Damian Woody, obviously saying before putting him in the category, then Rex Ryan, Dan Orlovsky, all chiming in. Kev, the dynasty talk. And actually, if we're thinking out loud here, I tweeted this out last night, the last decade of our lives, we've been the presence of 2 dynasties. The New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. The only teams that have won a Super Bowl outside of Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, because I'll continue Brady's legacy into Tampa Bay. You're looking at the Broncos, who won Super Bowl 50, and you're looking at the Rams. And I guess, throwing the Eagles, 3 in 10 years.
And the Eagles were against Tom Brady.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was Tom Brady representing the AFC in that case. But so my point being, that means 7 of the other Super Bowls have gone to the Patriots, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are real, Kev. Like they're people can hate it, but they have a chance to etch themselves in the history books here. And Andy Reid, from his whole body of work, he truly is one of the greatest coaches we have ever seen in the sport.
Yeah, and I think, and this is an interesting conversation that I had last week with a bunch of people from Locked On, but I think that people would be less annoyed with the Chiefs if we didn't go straight from the Patriots into the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like straight up. I mean, in a league that doesn't have any parity. I mean, it's been, all right, well, Tom Brady wins all these Super Bowls with the Patriots, and then there's like no break. It's like all of a sudden there's a new dynasty that forms up. They take down the Patriots, and now they run the league for the next 10 years. It's like people just want something different. It gets tired seeing the same thing, the same script.
It's not good for ratings.
Yeah, we're here every year. I mean, and to your point, Brad, I've seen a lot of people who are just like, I'm not watching this year. Like, I don't care about watching the game this year because saying the same stuff over and
the
over
halftime
again.
show, you could even look forward to the halftime show. I'm not even looking forward to that.
Right. I saw Laura said earlier that, there's a game this week. Like, I heard there's a Kendrick Lamar concert, but next week. But
well, how about this? This is because now you brought up the Patriots, and Brad, I'm curious your response here. People do hate greatness. In the moment, I think you're going to be more frustrated if you're not a fan. Like when I was up in Buffalo, it was so easy when you're with Bills fans and Ravens, the fun, playful banter of everyone's like, oh, hey, screw the Chiefs, right? Because
whoever wins, go beat
the Chiefs. Yeah. I remember there was a documentary that was asking me these questions, and I go, I don't even feel like a public enemy number one up here because, they have a respect for everyone, but they're like, hey, as long as one of us beats the Chiefs, right? Just because that's been the narrative. And like I said, I got no problem with the Chiefs personally. It was easy to say at the tailgate, go, hey, screw the Chiefs, because that banded a group together, right? But people don't like when it's the same thing over and over again. Yeah. And it becomes a hatred. Like, so when the Patriots, Brad, where I lead to this, a lot of people hated New England because of Tom Brady and Belichick. Now, over time, you can sit there and go, all right, I respect that. I hated it in the moment because a lot of the Ravens had some great teams during those times. Yeah. Which to you is the more frustrating? When right now, I understand the heat of the moment might be the Chiefs, but do you think that the Chiefs have reached this level of hatred that the Patriots had in their heyday?
It's a great question. I think it's probably 1 and 1A at this point, because with the Patriots dynasty, there's a lot of controversy with that too. Obviously, there was the calls, but I don't think they're necessarily as magnified as they are with the Chiefs right now. But you got to remember, there was Deflategate, there was Spygate, there was like all kinds of other like things that they were doing. Tom Brady got suspended for crying out loud. But with this Chiefs team, you have a lot of guys that are full of themselves now, and they're just chest out like, fuck everybody. You know, there's the 2022 draft class doesn't know how to lose because they've never experienced it before, you know, between 2022 to now.
Yeah.
And so like you got the Travis Kelce's taunting everybody and not getting flagged for it. Like people are just sick of that shit. They just want to see them get knocked down a peg with everybody else.
Yeah.
And if I can add to that, it's also the fact that, you know, it's a smart thing to do in the heat of a game to try to flop for calls, but the flopping has gotten pretty out of control and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Where look, Brady did it too, right? Like Brady complained to the refs. Both teams are guilty of doing that. But if you want to, Ryan, you talked about recency bias, and we saw Mahomes doing a flail himself out of bounds and not get a call, and it just feels like, again, like I don't blame players for trying to get the yards because it happens, but seeing it on the field, it's just like either the NFL needs to do something about flopping and punish it, or try to figure something out, because when you have this just blatant thing and you're trying to get a call and then you don't get punished for trying to flop, but then a defensive player can get punished for it. That's the difference.
I just don't like everybody wants to talk about Travis Kelce. Like he, two catches for 19. And then they had him on stage just like, and Patrick Mahomes also didn't get them there this year, in my opinion. It was Steve Spagnuolo and that defense that got them there this year. And so, but everybody wants to glorify Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that like the comparison to the Tom Brady's and stuff to this is necessarily fair in this specific season. But the hatred is growing to that, and that's why I'm saying it's like 1 and 1A, because they're a little bit different, but it's the same.
Yeah, the hatred's definitely growing for everyone out there. And again, I just want to say I don't hate the Patriots when they had that. I was very pissed off. Like in the moment, you might have hated it. Like, and that's what I'm saying as a Ravens fan, and all those moments, because it's really why you don't like those teams. Really is it's because your team that you love probably has been the victim of one of these scenarios.
If you were a Browns fan for all those dynasties,
my goodness.
what impact did that have on you over the last decade?
For sure. And then look for the Bills right now. Josh Allen now has lost 4 playoff games to the Chiefs. And I saw Dan Orlovsky talking about it, that Josh has 3 games where he hasn't turned the ball over, and quarterbacks are 140-19 in such games when the team scores, 3 touchdowns, and Josh has 3 of those losses, all to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, like, for Bills fans, that's frustrating as hell. For Ravens fans, you had the moments against the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship game. The Patriots, we remember those battles going up to Foxborough, and then you finally slayed the dragon there in 2012, 2013. It sits with you. So I think that's one part. One thing I want to mention with Patrick Mahomes, though, Brad, you're right. The defense was a big part of what's changed this year. And I know Travis Kelce didn't have the big game in the championship game either, but Travis Kelce is a playoff. He's going to go down as one of the best playoff players of all time.
Yeah.
The numbers, you can't lie about the numbers. And I'd say the same with Patrick Mahomes. When they needed Patrick to be the guy, he made plays. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 40 passing yards, threw for a touchdown. He did everything he had to do, and more times than not, when Patrick had to make the play, he did. But he wasn't the best player during the regular season, but he was the guy with the game on the line that continues to find a way to win the game. Regardless, he's just been that player. And even last year, was he the better player on the field when they played the Ravens in the AFC Championship game? I wouldn't say he was the better player. Was he the smarter player? And did he make that dot to Valdez-Scantling to end the Ravens season? He did. Yeah. He makes the play when you have to, and that's why he's going to go down, and he's on pace to be the greatest quarterback from a winning perspective that the NFL has ever seen. And if people don't like it, you better beat them. But so far, we're about to see a Chiefs dynasty and the team become the first three-peat champion unless Saquon Barkley gets loose.
Have you seen the theory of the Super Bowl logo?
Oh,
Anybody?
the colors.
Yeah, the colors. The green is on the bottom this year, which means the Eagles are winning. Apparently, that's how that goes.